Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.
But I don't just be out here just being nasty and rude and mean to people. That's not a problem. I did see that clip of Obama next to Trump. Like, it didn't bother me one way or the other. I was like,
really?
No, because low key, Obama is always at work. That's it. And he and the country decided to sit him next to that man. They decided that they are equal and be in the same office and have the same privy to the same information. And they did it again. They did it again. Not the first. So we know better. That, my anger is not really about these individual little, take this moment out of context. No, put it back in the right context. The world thinks this is okay. So y'all want him to come up there and make you feel better on social media by being like, F you, or not speaking to him. That's a false reality. We had a chance to shape reality with our votes, and we chose not to. We abdicated our responsibility. That judge, if you listen to his decision, he was talking about us when he was like, the American people decided that Donald Trump should get the privileges of the office of president. So guess what, guys? I can't put him in jail because we don't put presidents in jail. You know what we do? You don't vote for them, and then those people are felons and they go to jail. But we decided we was cool with this. So yeah, I don't have I'm not even getting riled up over the individual small moments. I'm more mad at what we watch pass in front of us because America just couldn't come to grips with a black woman being president. That's insane.
I love that take. I love that take. Roderick Marrow, that's his name. Roderick Marrow, the black guy who tips.com. I got a tweet today, which is one of the reasons why I'm still on Twitter, because some people are still on Twitter, but also I'm not abdicating any space. I'm not giving up any space anywhere, any place. I'm going to be any place that I want to be. But I got a tweet by somebody that goes by the handle of J Tyson 919. Truckin' Cowboys is his name. He said, he asked me on Twitter regarding the 34 count felon that will be taking the office again January 20th. He said, I hope you do a segment on this, on the judge saying nothing to see here. Yes, he's a felon, but we can't put him in jail. He said, how do I tell my son that justice is blind and that nobody is above the law? He said, I think today will be remembered in history as the day that those two supposed truths were exposed for the faulty and untrue premises that they truly are. I said, you tell your son that this is America. You tell your son that justice, things are not fair. But you also tell your son that you live by a certain moral ethic and you have values, and as a family and as a community, this is what we're going to stand up for. But yeah, it's a tough conversation that people are having today. It's a tough conversation that people had the day after election. For those who took their children to vote for Kamala Harris, to have to wake up their children or have their children come to them, mommy, daddy, did she win? And to tell them no, and to see the look on their faces, because I've heard that a lot too. To Roderick's point, this is where we are. So we have to be truthful. Yeah, but what would you tell Truckin' Cowboys?
I mean, first of all, I don't have kids, so, take this with a grain of salt, but I would probably not even tell my kid that no one's above the law in America. I don't even think, just because it's not true, and like I said, my parents probably raised me a little weirdly compared to a lot of kids, because I know a lot of people's parents is like, keep your head in the sand. We just want you to be a kid as long as possible. And my parents is like, we going to the black bookstore. we reading about how Jesus was actually black day one. We want to talk about before the Mayflower, how Africans got to America before any of that shit you learned in your school about the Nina and the Pinta, the Santa Maria, whatever. That's not those people didn't. That's not real. So or those aren't the real founders of America, which is a place that already had people. So anyway, I may not be the person to give the best advice, because I don't value telling a kid something that's a platitude if it's not true, because they're gonna just grow up and realize, they're gonna have days like today and realize it. But I think what Karen said was the most accurate, which is just because that's someone else's morality, that does not erase yours. You do things the right way because it's right, because you got to live with yourself for your integrity. Consequences be damned. And people that just game the system and rig it and benefit from a rigged system, you fight against that system and you fight to change it. But that's the reason people change it. There's a long line of people, civil disobedience, civil rights fighters, that the reason they're doing it is to make America live up to those promises. America never was the America it sells itself as. It's only been that when Black people in this country have made it be that. Like, oh, this is the land of the free. I'm in chains. So we gonna have to find a way to live up to that one. You know what I mean?
Something wrong here. Right.
Exactly. Every man should be able to vote. Well, I can't. So every time Black people have fought, that's when it becomes those promises. So I don't think you don't teach them the ideals. I just say don't teach them the platitudes.
Yes. We had this conversation regarding Santa, and you were spot on then.
Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me in Karen Hunter is Awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is Awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power, a 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is Awesome, a new podcast from Karen Hunter.